Well, the vaccine is ready now in Russia, and people are being vaccinated now as we speak. But of course, we need to ramp up production, and I think all of the producers are working on increasing production because supply chain is just not ready for this huge volume of vaccines that need to be produced. So we are ramping up production. We already moved from medium-sized fermenters to large-sized fermenters in Russia. So we believe already in December we'll have very high volume production. We'll also be producing in India, Brazil, China, Korea. We are working with other countries to produce as well. Today, Korea will announce a partnership on production. So production is definitely a key element for all of the producers in the world.
Hi, Kirill, it's Dan here. The Wall Street Journal reported earlier this week that Russia essentially had to dial down production forecasts because scientists there are encountering some challenges when it comes to manufacturing. Can you address that?
Yeah, Dan, as I mentioned, we are ramping up production. If you follow announcements from many manufacturers, there are some delay because of the supply chain issues. But we already moved, as I mentioned, to high volume fermenters, which is a very important step in Russia. So maybe we are about 1 month and a half behind the plan, but we are catching up. And of course, we know that all of the other vaccine producers are ramping up production as well, and that's great. Russian economy is very much dependent on the world economy. We want all of the vaccines to be produced, and definitely we can only be part of the portfolio of the vaccine in the world. Right now, we expect to have only 500 million doses produced next year. Maybe we can ramp up more, but we need Russia and others to produce as much as possible.
Kirill, while we have you on another topic, Russia is in a minority of countries that have not congratulated President-elect Joe Biden on his election win. Why is that? And would you like to take this opportunity here on CNBC to congratulate the incoming president?
Well, we are non-political funds. We are focused on vaccine tests and, drugs that we actually have to fight COVID. I think, the position is that the votes need to be finally counted. But again, I'm not a political expert, so you need to ask our foreign ministry and other people like this. Of course, Russia will work with whoever gets elected as president of the U.S. and we are at a low point in U.S.-Russia relations. We want to improve them. So we'll work with anybody who wants to work with Russia and improve on relationships that is so important for the rest of the world.
You're right, the relationship is at a low point, and this is something that you and I have discussed in the past. Do you think that President-elect Biden is the person to restore the relationship between the United States and Russia, or is this going to get worse before it gets any better?
Well, again, we are hopeful for positive dialogue. I think it's very important to have dialogue, so we listen to one another. There are lots of misperceptions flying around. Russia really wants to be a positive agent in the world, and you see it from our openness on the vaccine development, on other things we are doing. So definitely we have lots of things to be done jointly on fighting terrorism, on other things. So let's wait and see, but definitely dialogue is very important. And again, it's in the interest of the US, it's in the interest of Russia, it's in the interest of the rest of the world.
Well, elsewhere, a possible end to the US-China trade dispute, of course, under President Biden. What would that mean for Russia, if anything?
Well, again, we want the world economy to recover. We are very much dependent on the world economy. Our oil production is dependent on the world economy. So we, of course, want trade disputes to be over. We want COVID to be over. We are interested to have different vaccines being produced. So we believe next year can be a breakthrough year on restoring economic growth. And it's very important for jobs. It's very important for Russia. It's very important for the rest of the world. So trade wars are bad for the economy. And definitely that's our position.
And Kirill, before we let you go, there has also been rumours about the president's health in the Western press. The report suggests that President Putin could resign as early as next year as a result of his health. Would you like to address this?
Well, this is absolute nonsense, as Mr. Peskov, the president's spokesman, said. I think there are lots of media information attacks on Russia, on Russian vaccines. This is clearly one of them, So Russia just carries forward, tries to do good things, tries to, be a helpful partner in the world. So those rumors are just another example of unfortunate set of fake news that are being distributed by people who do not like Russia.